Basket is by Cedric Knight. Oh, by Chase Gibson. Basket by Brandon Bender. Chase Gibson. Three-point goal, Spencer Grader.
Good for three by Akers. Ballard running the other way. Parton drive shot blocked by Gibson. Here comes Pikeville back. Akers down the left side. He pulls it up. Now he moves again to the corner. Back to Gibson. Three straight away. No good. In and out. Rebound to Ballard. Comes off to Parton. Pass up to Grader on the right side. Gives it out front to Wilkinson. Left wing to Parton. Down low, Knight into the lane. Jump hook good. Cedric Knight with 4. Ballard leads at 9-4.
And Tom, this is one of those games that Ballard has a sixth passing lane, so to speak, because they're so much taller, they can just go over the top.
Down on the block, right side, Gibson spins into the lane, put it up and in over Bender. Nice looking sophomore in the low post there. Gibson has all 6 Pikeville points. Ballard leads it 9-6. Grader in front court for Ballard. Floats it over in the left corner to Parton, wide open, but doesn't want the shot. They give it to Knight at the high post. Lob it down on the block left side. Wilkinson moves in. Jump hook. No good. Gets his own rebound in the lane. Put it up and in. First 2 for Mac Wilkinson. Ballard's lead back to 5 at 11-6. And so far, 3 offensive rebounds already for Ballard. Pikeville driving the other way. Akers hands it off to Mims. Drives out into the right corner. Now reverses. Gets around Knight. Kicks it over into the left corner. Here's a 3 by Anderson. No good. It was short. Rebound Ballard. Bender outlet pass to Parton running it down the left side. To the corner, cross-court pass. Knight laid it up and in. 13-6, Ballard.
That was a nice break by Ballard.
4.5 to play, first quarter. Akers in front court for Pikeville. Backdoor cut. Gibson can't handle it. Now he's got it. Kicks it out on the wing. 3, Branham, no good. Air ball. Rebound, Ballard. Knight gives it off to Grader. Stolen, but a foul on Akers. First foul on Pikeville.
I'll say one thing for Chase Gibson. For a sophomore, he sure has come out and played with a lot of confidence and doesn't appear to be the slightest bit intimidated by this Louisville Ballard team.
22nd timeout by Pikeville coach Dave Thomas.
Had that have been the evening session, it would have probably broken the record, I would think.
I think you're right. Ballard up by 7 and with the basketball. Parton on the left wing. To Childs, who's in now at the high post. Grader out of the corner. 3 is in and out, and rebound Pikeville. It's Gibson. Adam Childs has replaced Brandon Bender in the game for Ballard. Gibson in front court with the basketball, right of the circle. Floats it over to the left corner and threw it away, and then it's taken back away by Pikeville and chased down in back court by Chad Anderson. Heads up play by Mims to knock that ball away from Childs, who had stolen the pass. Here's Anderson in front court for Pikeville, and the pass knocked out of bounds as he tried to go down into the corner to Akers. Parton stepped into the passing lane to knock it down. Pikeville will put it in play, right side, offensive court. It goes way out front to Chad Anderson. Another new player in the game, Richard Nooner for Ballard, replacing Cedric Knight. Here's Anderson on the right wing, drives in, kicks it back out front to Gibson. He'll work on Nooner. Down low, he threw it away. Steal by Wilkinson, and then he loses the handle on it, but Parton's right there to pick it up. Drives it down the left side, into the lane, lays it up, missed it with the left hand, tap no good. Wilkinson gets it, follow up, no good. Rebound taken off again, and a whistle, a foul on Pikeville. Ballard just owning the offensive boards here in this first quarter.
Well, and that's going to be the challenge, is to try to keep them off the boards, but it's going to be a really, really, really tough task for them tonight.
Matt Walls, a new player who had checked in for Pikeville, picked up that foul. And we get Andrew Norton into the game now for Ballard in place of Parton. Here's Childs driving baseline right, dribbled it out of bounds off his foot. It'll go to Pikeville. 13-6, Ballard in control. 3:16 to play in the first quarter. A little late start for this game. We had a double overtime affair in the opener. Henderson County beat Muhlenberg's North 73-71. And Pikeville in front court with the basketball. It's Mims working against Childs off a high pick, drives it down the right side. It's kicked out of bounds as he tried to go to Akers in the right corner. He's facing a little bit of a problem right now for Pikeville against this big Ballard team getting into the passing lanes.
It is, Tom, and the other thing is they're going to have to be content with pulling up, taking the short-range jump shot instead of trying to go all the way.
Mims for three, no good. Gets his own rebound in the lane, drives it back out front to reset the offense. Bounces it to Walls in the lane, kicks it off to Akers, driving baseline right, shot no good, blocked by Wilkinson, saved in bounds by Ballard's Norton. Here come the Bruins. Grader into front court, spins into the circle, now backs out. Cross court to Norton, fakes a pass, whistle away from the ball, 3 seconds on Ballard.
And the last penetration move there was exactly what I just mentioned to you. If you're not used to playing against that type of size, you're used to taking it.
Welcome back to Rupp Arena. Pikeville with the basketball in front court, down by 7. 13-6 Ballard. Here's Anderson driving baseline right, threw it away, but it was touched last by Ballard and goes out of bounds to Pikeville. He was trying to go a bounce pass all the way across the baseline to Chase Gibson, and Ballard got into the passing lane but knocked it out of bounds. Mims on the left wing for Pikeville. Starts to the corner, then backs out, gives it to Anderson in the left corner. Out front to Akers. In the lane, Gibson, turnaround from 10, no good. Rebound taken off by Pikeville. Mims into the left corner, had a shot, didn't want it. Gives it out front to Gibson. Bender's on him at 6'9". Gibson is 6'4", the tallest Pikeville player on the floor. Gibson dribbles down the right side of the lane. Can't get his shot. Out in the corner to Branham. Out front to Anderson. And he'll reset the offense. 1:45 to play in the first quarter. Gibson out front. Threw it away. Norton's got it, running it into front court for Ballard. Has it knocked away from behind. That's out of bounds to Pikeville. I think it was Mims who chased down that play from behind and made the back tip to cause the turnover.
It was a great hustle on his part to even have an opportunity to come close to getting the back tip.
11:44 to play in the first half in the NCAA tournament. New Mexico State leads Kentucky 18-14. Here it's Ballard 13, Pikeville 6. Foul in back court against Ballard as Akers tried to drive it into front court for Pikeville. 1:34 to play in a quarter. That's the first foul on the Ballard Bruins. Give it to Will Parton. And Pikeville will put it in play at midcourt. Ballard's been man-to-man the whole way.
And one luxury they have too here, or another luxury I should say they have, is they have 3 starters getting a little rest on the bench at this point.
Akers drives and misses off the left baseline. It was an air ball. Ballard quickly the other way. Down on the block, right side, Bender. Into the lane, has it knocked away. It's loose on the floor. Pikeville's got it, running 2-on-1. Anderson down the left side. Across the court and lost out of bounds as he tried to hit Akers. He couldn't handle it, and Ballard will come back with the basketball. Substitution for Pikeville, Nick Lynch, 5'9" juniors up off the bench. Didn't get in time. He'll come in at the next break. Parton drives it into front court for Ballard. Down on the block, right side to Bender. Back to Parton. Now Bender's got it on the block. Spins baseline. Jump hook, no good. Over the rim, taken off by Nooner for Ballard. Shot blocked out of there by Gibson. Chased down by Ballard out front. Parton threw it away in the lane, trying to go to Nooner. Here's Pims running in front court. Dishes right side. Akers drives, missed the shot. Rebound and a violation on Pikeville as Akers got the deflected rebound, but he was standing on the baseline. And now Lynch checks in, replacing Akers.
And Pikeville's had a couple opportunities here on the fast break, just hadn't been able to finish.
Pikeville's in a position of not having much margin for error in a game like this, and so far the Panthers have been far from perfect. They trail at 13-6, 40 seconds to play in the first quarter. Bender in the left corner, out front to Norton. Parton, lob for Bender, can't get the jam, and a technical foul. Bender hanging on the rim. That puts a little life in the Pikeville crowd. And Pikeville will get to shoot free throws at the other end.
And get the ball back out of bounds, so it's going to give them a chance to really cut into this lead here in the late stages of the first quarter.
Not sure about that call because it looked like there was some congestion underneath the basket for Bender.
I agree. I think maybe they judged that he stayed up there longer than he had to.
Nick Lynch, the new player in the game, will shoot the free throw for Pikeville. He put it in. He gets another one. Lynch, second shot also good. And that cuts the Ballard lead to 5 at 13-8. That does go as a personal for Bender, his first. And now Pikeville will put it in play at midcourt. 33.6 seconds to play in the quarter. Mims looks and almost threw it away. It's chased down by Lynch, though, in backcourt. Knight almost got the steal. And a kick by Ballard's Norton as Pikeville tried to get it in the left corner to Branham. 28 seconds to play in the quarter. We were tied at 2 and at 4 early, thanks to 6 quick points by Gibson. He's been quiet ever since. He's got the ball at the top of the circle, gets around Bender, leaner in the lane, no good from 6, gets his own rebound, followed it up, in and out, no good. Rebounds tapped out, chased down by Lynch for Pikeville. Inside Gibson, spins into the lane, over Bender, missed it again. Rebound to Ballard's Brandon Bender, and he'll get it off to Parton with 8 seconds to play in the quarter. Gibson had 3 great looks at the basket, could not get the shot down. Norton, left wing for 3. It's in and out, no good. Rebound Pikeville, and that's the end of the first quarter. It's Ballard 13, Pikeville 8. We'll take a 60-second local break on the Kentucky Utility Sweet 16 Radio Network. Michigan State, the other winners tonight in the NCAA tournament. Here we start the second quarter. Pikeville with the basketball. They trail it 13-8. Ballard goes to a 1-3-1 zone. Out of the corner for 3. It's Lynch. Rimmed out. Rebound to Ballard. Knight gets it off to Grader. Run out to Bender. Catches it on the left baseline. Slips and falls. He walked. That's the 8th turnover for Ballard. But Pikeville, an ice-cold 20%, Curtis. 3 out of 15.
Right, and they've had to adjust almost every shot they've taken except for the first couple that Gibson was able to get off pretty clean. And they just can't adjust to the size that Ballard has. And this 1-3-1 zone is going to be really intimidating to them, maybe more so than the man-to-man.
Attempted pass knocked out of bounds in front court by Cedric Knight, so Pikeville will play it in on side court. Grader's out on the point of the 1-3-1 zone. Then you've got, and here's another block pass by Ballard out of bounds. Parton knocked it away as they tried to get it down in the right corner to Branham. You've got Knight, Wilkinson, and Parton across the middle line of that zone, and 2 of those guys are 6'5" or better. Here's Gibson, open in the lane, shot it over Bender, rolled out, rebound Lynch, head fake, flips up the shot, missed it, but he drew the foul on Cedric Knight. And little Nick Lynch at 5'9" went in and grabbed that rebound and doesn't hesitate to get the shot, and did pick up the first foul of the game on Knight. Gibson really starting to be a little uncomfortable in there, having to adjust his shot. He is having trouble getting him to go down. Only 3 out of 9 now after that early spurt.
Exactly.
Lynch missed the free throw.
Lynch did show a lot of courage there to go inside and battle for that rebound. And then, like you said, Bender on the back line. If you're able to get by one of the big guys across the middle, then you still got to face Bender down low.
Akers in and Anderson out for Pikeville as Lynch hits the second free throw, his 3rd point of the game. And Pikeville is hanging close. It's 13-9 Ballard. Wilkinson, right block, out to Grader, to Bender, left corner, Parton with it. Now Knight at the top of the circle. 2-3 zone for Pikeville. Knight drives in. It's knocked away. Akers running the other way. Parton catches up to him. Here he goes. Akers, left-hand layup, good.
That was a great play by Akers on both ends, coming up with the steal and taking it all the way for the easy bucket.
That brings the Pikeville crowd to its feet. It's 13-11 Ballard. Parton out front with the basketball. On the right side to Grader. Cross court pass to Parton. 3 off the left wing. Too hard. Long rebound. Pikeville grabs it. Akers hands it off to Mims. Long pass up to Lynch, open on the right baseline. Cross court to the corner, Branham out on the wing. Akers for three, barely drew iron. Rebound to Ballard.
That was great ball movement by Pikeville then to reverse the thing and get the open three.
Bender at the top of the circle, over to Parton on the near side. Out top to Knight. 13-11, Ballard leads it. Down on the block, left side, Wilkinson. A collision, Wilkinson turns and puts it in as Mims hit the deck.
Tom, not only is Ballard's inside players big in terms of height, you're going to rarely see very many high school guys as mature looking physically as those guys are.
4 for Wilkinson. It's 15-11, a 4-point Ballard lead. 1-3-1 zone still by the Bruins. Lynch out of the corner for three. It's short. Rebound to Wilkinson for Ballard. Pikeville 0 of 8 on threes. Here's Parton on the left wing. Lob it to Bender on the block left side. Going baseline, flips it up and in. Well, those last two were pretty easy for the Ballard big men. And the lead is back to 6. It's 17-11.
And I think that's a tribute in itself to when you're saying the lead is only 6, and back to 6 in Pikeville's case.
Ballard back in a man-to-man. Well, no, I thought it was a man-to-man. They switched to a 2-3 zone. Here's Gibson straight away for three. It rolled off. Rebound to Ballard. Grader clears it, drives it into front court for the Bruins. Tapped away from behind. It's loose in the lane. Pikeville's got it. Mims running it the other way. Into front court, collision. Parton hit the deck, blocking the call on the guard from Ballard. That's his second foul, and that's 4 on the Bruins. Later in this broadcast, we'll select our Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance Player of the Game. Kentucky Farm Bureau Insurance will donate $100 in that player's name to their high school library fund. Chad Anderson back in for Pikeville as Lynch goes out, and Andrew Norton replaces Will Parton for Ballard. 5:04 to play in the first half. 17-11. Ballard on top. Anderson has it out near the timeline. Starts down the right side. Now reverses, gives it to Gibson out front. He'll work it on Bender. Into the circle. Right side of the lane. Now moves out into the corner. Back into the lane. All the way to the bucket. Shot knocked out of there by Wilkinson and taken down by Ballard. Wilkinson got a hand on the shot by Gibson just as he was going to lay it up. Ballard in front court with the ball, leading by 6.
Pikeville staying in their 2-3 zone.
Childs in the game, drives and loses it for Ballard. Here comes Pikeville. Mims ahead to Akers, nice catch, drives, missed it. Rebound to Ballard. Childs double teamed in back court. Needs help, a collision, a foul on Akers. Akers and Mims had Childs double teamed. Mims hit the deck and then the ball popped loose right into his stomach, but they called the foul on Akers, his second. 3 on Pikeville.
Pikeville's guys sure are giving a gallant effort right now. I mean, on both ends of the floor, they're coming up with these deflections and steals, and they haven't been able to convert it to offensive end, but it's sure not because of a lack of effort.
4 out of 22 shooting for Pikeville. That's 18%. Ballard leading 17-11 with the basketball. Bender left of the lane, cross court to Grader on the wing right side. Back across the court to Norton. 4:05 to play in the half. Grader out of the right corner. Three-pointer, short. Barely drew iron. He gets it back on the baseline, drives and scores off the glass. 5 for Grader.
I thought Wilkinson was going to block that shot. Grader took it right into his own player.
Ballard's biggest lead at 19-11. Mims out front, can't find the handle. It's knocked away. He gets it back. Drives into the circle, kicks it over on the wing to Gibson. In the corner to Anderson. Back to Gibson on the baseline. Spins to the lane, banks it up, no good. Gets his own rebound. One dribble, put it in.
That was a great second effort. And here they come up with a steal by Akers.
3 on the way, too hard. Ballard gets it back. Grader across the timeline. Bounces it to Childs on the wing, left side to Bender. Right wing, Norton bluffs the 3. 3:15 to go in the half. 19-13. Ballard leads Bruins with the basketball. Pikeville still in the 2-3 zone. Here's Childs. Free throw line jumper, no good, but a foul. Chad Anderson picks up the personal, and that will put Childs at the free throw line for Ballard.
One thing that I'm sure Coach Thomas had as a goal for his team coming in was to not give up very many transition buckets. And Pikeville this first half has done an excellent job of getting their defense back and taking away the easy bucket for Ballard.
Childs to shoot 2. He had 15 last night. Pikeville's doing everything really it one would think it might need to do except hit some shots. 5 out of 25, 20%.
Exactly, and they're getting the shots. In fact, I'll be honest, they've gotten more decent shots than I was afraid that they would be able to get this first half.
Nooner's checked back in for Ballard along with Antoine Sarton, a 6-foot sophomore. The two big guys, Bender and Wilkinson, go out for Pikeville. Got a new player in the game. We'll try to pick up the number here momentarily as Childs missed the second free throw. The rebound comes off to Pikeville's Gibson. Akers will work it into front court. The new player for Pikeville is Brandon Thompson, a 6'2 junior. Anderson's got it out front. Long range right side, 2:50 to play in the half. He drives, has it knocked away. It's stolen. Childs ahead for Sarton. Pulls it in, right of the lane. Jumper over the rim and taken off by Pikeville. And here's a run out. Gibson the other way. He drives and scores. 10 for Gibson. And Pikeville hanging tough. Pulls back to within 4 at 19-15. Turnover almost in front court as the Ballard player lost his dribble. It was David Bryant. He's got it back now on the right wing. Over to Sarton. Ballard's used 10 players in this half.
I believe they got a break there, Tom, on that
looked
last
like
one.
it. Looked like he carried the ball coming down their right side. Foul out front. Akers on the reach in. Picks up his third. 5 on Pikeville.
Well, as poorly as Pikeville has shot the ball from the field, they can't feel too badly at this point to only be down 4 with 2:15 to go.
Left in the first half, and Tulsa leads the College of Charleston 28-13. Ballard with the basketball in front court. Bryant, left side, drives the lane, flips it up, missed it. Rebound tapped out, chased down by Pikeville. Mims behind his back and into front court. And dropped out of bounds is the pass to Branham. Went right into his hands and right down onto the sideline. It'll go back over to Ballard.
Started to make his move to the basket on the dribble before he caught the ball.
6 turnovers for Pikeville. Ballard with it in front court with 1:50 to play in the half. 19-15, Ballard on top. Here's Norton, double teamed out front. Gets it off to Childs. Right corner, Bryant drives baseline. Collision, blocking the call on Pikeville. Give the foul to Brandon Thompson, his first. 6 on the Panthers. 1:42 left to play in the half. Ballard is 18-2 when it leads at halftime this season, making 19-2. And trying to hold on to that lead now as Bryant hits the free throw.
Tom, do you have a note there as to when the last score for Ballard came? It seems like they've been stuck on 19 until that free throw for a long time.
Do not, but it's been a while. He hit them both. 2 points for David Bryant. 21-15. Ballard's lead is 6. Michaels shot 23% and yet trails by only 6. Gibson in the right corner, going baseline, pulls up from 10, shot it over the rim. Rebounds tapped out, chased down by Pikeville. Out front, Anderson's got it, it's stolen. Here's Bryant driving and missing, tapped up and in, won't count. It was on the rim when Nooner tapped it in.
I believe that was a nice piece of officiating there. I believe it still was on the rim. And I don't know, obviously I'm not over there on the bench, but I think that Coach Renner's probably trying to send a message to his first-line troops that they're going to have to get with it here in the second half.
Foul in back court as Childs was getting after Mims. Childs picks up the reach-in foul. That's his first. 5 on Ballard. 1:19 to play in the half. And we get Walls back in, and Branham out for Pikeville, and Nick Lynch has checked in place of Thompson. Again, for Pikeville.
And all 5 Ballard starters are sitting by Coach Renner.
Watching the team try to build on a 6-point lead. Full court man-to-man pressure. Pikeville gets it into Lynch. Across the timeline, down the right side, double teamed in front court, bounces it out front to Mims. Pikeville needs a basket in the worst way. 22% shooting. Here's Mims into the lane, kicks it off left side. Shot put up no good, but hammered to the floor is Walls, and he'll get 2 shots.
I don't know this, but I'd say he probably also plays football for Pikeville because he seemed to enjoy taking it to the basket there and drawing that contact.
I think you may be right about that. He just did a somersault out of the contact and popped right up and bounced over to the free throw line. And he's built like he could be quite comfortable on the football field as he hits the first free throw.
You know, he come up with a big rebound or two in the late stages of last night's win over Boyd County, too. And he appears to me to be somewhat of an emotional leader for these guys.
Well, he hit them both. It pulls Pikeville to within 4, and here's a near turnover in back court. It's Bryant falling down and then having the presence of mind to call a quick timeout instead of trying to get up and getting whistled for walking. 20.
Telling us exactly the type of effort and hustle. They're just staying in this game on sheer determination.
21-17, Ballard leads. They've got the ball with 50 seconds to play in the quarter. Bryant drives it down the right side. 5 reserves leading the way for Ballard right now. Here's Childs driving, left-hand finger roll, good. His first field goal, first points, 23-17 Ballard. Gibson, the center, brings it up on the dribble for Pikeville. Splits 2 defenders, kicks it over to Mims on the left baseline, drives into the lane, out on the wing to Lynch, 3, good! That's 6 for Lynch off the bench. 23-20, the Ballard lead is only 3. 18 seconds to play in the quarter. Childs drives left side of the lane, pull up 15-footer, no good, rebound Pikeville. Gibson over to Anderson. They could tie it with a 3. Anderson behind his back in front court to Lynch in the corner. Going baseline, double teamed, over to Gibson, left corner for 3, in and out.
And I think they called a foul on the shot.
I think you're right. And he could tie it right here with 3 shots. Foul was on Sarton.
1.9 seconds left in the half.
And Chase Gibson, only a 59% free throw shooter, steps to the stripe for the first time tonight. 10 points to lead Pikeville, to lead all scorers, really. Missed the free throw, too hard off the back of the rim. Gibson has worked hard, has 6 rebounds, but only 5 of 15 shooting. He's been able to get himself free for good shots, but hasn't been able to put them in. Second free throw, also no good.
Another player that they need to be able to get into the scoring column is John Mims, who hasn't scored yet tonight and has only taken 1 shot.
And averages 16 per game. Gibson put his hands on his hips, walked away from the free throw line. He's reset, lets it fly, and missed all 3 of them. Rebound to Ballard, and that's the end of the first half. Well, a very poor first half probably from Ballard's perspective, and Pikeville didn't play a whole lot better statistically, but they have to be pleased with where they are. Down only 3. It's Ballard 23 and Pikeville 20, and it's halftime. Ballard's basketball as we start the third quarter. Ballard comes back with the starting 5, which spent much of the second quarter on the bench. And Pikeville opens in a 2-3 zone. Here's the lob that's knocked away, but Bender picks it up, and then it's taken away from him. Stolen back away by Knight, and then he lost it out of bounds. Looked like a Keystone Cops movie there. And finally, Pikeville ends up with the basketball.
I'm glad you were calling the play-by-play there instead of me, Tom.
Pikeville has the starting 5 back in the game to start this third quarter, too. And here come the Panthers. They could tie it with a 3. As they were 1 of 11 from three-point range in the first half, hit only 25%. Here's Anderson in the right corner. Comes out front with it on the dribble. Gives it to Akers, to Mims on the wing. He starts in, kicks it out in the corner to Branham. Back to Mims, down low Gibson, around Bender, put it up and in. It hung on the rim and dropped through.
That was a real nice move and excellent execution by Pikeville. They showed the patience necessary to move the ball till they got the good shot.
Well, it's a 1-point Ballard lead now, 23-22, a minute into the third quarter. Maybe an upset in the making. Knight going baseline left, flips it up and in. And took a trip all the way around the rim for Cedric Knight. Kind of a one-hand runner on the baseline. 25-22, Ballard by 3. Here comes Pikeville. Akers in front court, double team, gets it off to Branham. Akers cuts through, they don't get it to him. Out front, Anderson between the circles. He'll work it on Grader. Left wing, Gibson goes in against Bender, then backs out, gives it in the corner to Branham. Out on the wing to Mims. Mims very quiet tonight, averages 16, has not scored. Here's a turnover in the lane, and Ballard comes out with it. Knight, long pass up to Wilkinson, makes the catch on the right baseline, laid it in. 27-22 Ballard. Mims in front court for Pikeville, puts it behind his back, and he double dribbled. And 22nd timeout here coming for Pikeville coach Dave Thomas. We'll take a break for station identification. This is the Kentucky Utility Sweet 16 Radio Network. Starting to look like an evening at that friend's house who's a bad host but a good cook. The meal's over and everybody's heading out. As the crowd starts to clear out to, no doubt, check on the Kentucky Wildcats, who were tied at halftime with New Mexico State at 34. And this is a good ball game. Not especially well played or great shooting anyway, Curtis, but Pikeville is just very gritty, just hanging in, if refusing to quit.
Exactly, and it has been a good game, and the people that left before this game started probably wouldn't believe the halftime score if people walked over there and told them that.
Parton hits the three off the right wing, his first points of the game, and Ballard equals its largest lead, and here's a turnover the other way. Mims trying to drive to the right corner, lost it out of bounds. 2 straight turnovers for John Mims. The senior getting a little frustrated, has not scored and averages 16. It's 30-22. Ballard with the ball and the lead. In the left corner, Parton wide open, goes down on the block to Bender, kicks it over to Knight, finger roll good. Well, Pikeville got it to within 1, and Ballard responded. They've run off now 9 straight points. It's 32-22 Ballard. Here's Gibson in the circle. Kicks it over to Anderson on the left wing. 3 out of the left corner. Branham hit it. His first basket of the game.
That's big for Pikeville because they can't let this thing get away from them early here.
Here's Parton open inside, missed the layup, rebound to Pikeville. He was wide open and just rolled it off the rim. Other way, it's Mims running into the lane, double teamed off to Branham, fall away, good. About an 8-footer off the left side. Branham's hit 2 in a row, and here come the Panthers. Ballard's lead of 10 is now cut in half at 32-27. Bender flips it over to Parton on the left wing. Down low, Wilkinson, reach-in foul on Branham of Pikeville, his first. First of the half on the Panthers, almost halfway through this third quarter. And here comes Childs off the bench for Ballard. And he will replace Cedric Knight. Coach Chris Ritter used 10 players in that first half. Didn't appear to be too pleased with his starters. They spent most of the second quarter on the bench. Here's Childs for 3 out of the corner. Yes!
And he closed out the first half making a nice drive, too.
Had 15 last night, and the win over North Hardin has 5 tonight. 35-27 Ballard. 4:35 to play in the game. Akers drives it into front court. It's knocked away by Parton. He chased it down and drives for the basket and lays it in.
That was a great play by Will, both defensively and then once he come up with the ball to avoid stepping out of bounds on the sideline.
Here's Anderson driving it into front court for Pikeville. Straight down the middle of the lane around Wilkinson. Blocked. Taken down by Bender. And Bender lost it. Big guy shouldn't be handling the basketball out there. Long pass up to Branham. He has to save it in bounds, and he touched the end line as he tried to save it into Anderson. Pikeville out of control after being fortunate enough to get that steal. And here's Lynch replacing Jeremiah Akers for Pikeville. 4:06 to play third quarter. Ballard with the ball and a 37-27 lead. Pikeville's heated up just a tad, Curtis. Now 32% on 10 out of 31. 2 out of 12 on threes. It's amazing they're as close as they are given those numbers.
I've thought that all along here. Of course, we talked about that before the half was over.
Wilkinson misses inside, followed up and in by Brandon Bender. Only 6, though, for the 6'9 sophomore. He does have 6 rebounds. Ballard's biggest lead at 39-27. Here's Mims in the circle. Bounces it over to Lynch, and it's knocked away and stolen. Parton comes out with it. 3 straight turnovers by Mims. Long pass up to Wilkinson. Couldn't handle it. It's out of bounds. Touched last by Ballard. And Pikeville will get it back after the 14th turnover by Ballard.
I'd like to see Pikeville bring Mims off of a screen or something just to see if they could get him off the snide here.
Branham gets it inbounds to Mims. Collision in backcourt. Childs hits the deck. Mims gets around him. Now gets around another man. They've got a 5-on-2, or 5-on-3 rather. Here's Lynch inside against Wilkinson. Tried to throw it out front, and it's knocked away. Taken back away, though, by Gibson. He puts it up and in. Heads up play by Chase Gibson to grab that loose ball in the lane and stick it in. 39-29 Ballard. Childs in the lane. Kicks it out in the corner to Parton. Cross-court Grader. Bluffs the 3. Back across near side to Parton, into the circle. Over on the left side, Grader, 3 on the way, rimmed out. Rebound Wilkinson, laid it up, and he missed it. Rebound to Pikeville. Chase Gibson.
That's 7 rebounds for Chase.
Mims in front court for Pikeville. Left corner, Branham, another 3. Short. Rebound taken by Ballard. Bender holds it high above his head. Outlet pass to Parton, up the left side, into the lane. Drives to the basket, shot blocked by Gibson. Here comes Pikeville. Mims into front court. He'll slow it up. 2:30 to play in the quarter. Mims into the circle. Right side of the lane. All the way to the bucket. Shot blocked by Bender with the left hand. And into the hands of Parton. Dave Thomas wanted the goaltending call. Don't know that I disagree with him.
I kind of do agree with him there, Tom. It looked like to me that the ball had reached its peak.
Bender almost had to reach back, it seemed, to block it with his finger. Here's Wilkinson on the right baseline. Nice reverse move. Missed the shot. Tapped by Bender, no good. Rebound put back up and in by Grader of Ballard. He has 7. 41-29. Ballard equals its longest lead. Mims in front court. A foul on Ballard's Grader for bumping Mims. First on Grader, first on Ballard. Already under 2 minutes to play in this third quarter. We'll take a timeout with 1:54 left. Ballard 41, Pikeville 29. We'll take a local break on the Kentucky Utility Sweet 16 Radio Network. Back to Rupp Arena. Ballard leads Pikeville 41-29 with 1:54 left in the third period. Pikeville's basketball. Tom Leach along with Coach Curtis Turley. Tomorrow morning, semifinals start at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And here's the ball kicked away out front by Ballard's Parton as Anderson tried to bounce it to Akers in the left or in the right corner.
And Ballard, after the timeouts, come back with their 1-3-1 half-court defense, looking to trap in the corners.
And that's what they're doing right now on Branham, and he dropped the ball onto the sideline. It'll go over to Ballard. 13th turnover for Pikeville. 14 make it. Here's a run out the other way. Nooner behind the defense. Drives, pump, fake shot, block. And Mims could not catch up to it before it went out of bounds. Nice block, though. I think it was Mims. And Nooner is in the ball game now for Ballard, along with Knight, Grader, Parton, and Childs. So the two big men, Wilkinson and Bender, are on the bench. Childs gets it into Parton, and he almost threw it away. Knight gets it on the block and a foul inside. I think it's Chase Gibson on the reach-in for Pikeville. That is his first. Second on the Panthers, and Ballard will play it in beneath its own basket.
Tom, as physical as this quarter has been, to look up at the clock and see that there's only 3 total fouls called, 2 on Pikeville, 1 on Ballard, is really phenomenal.
Well, it'll be Knight going to the free throw line instead of Ballard playing it in beneath the basket. Knight will shoot 2. And he hit it. It went in and out, and then the ball just almost sat there on the right side of the rim before deciding it would go back in. Walls in and Branham out for Pikeville. That's 11 for Cedric Knight. Second shot is good, about the same way.
Those are those time shots. Takes a lot of time, but they finally go in.
If you're a good shooter, you get that kind of roll. Although Knight's only 52%. 43-29, Ballard. Pikeville in front court. Here's Akers driving baseline left. A collision shot, no good. Blocking the call on Ballard. It'll go against Nooner. That is his first and the second of the Bruins. At the end of the game, we'll present the Kosare Children's Hospital Play of the Game. Here a replay of a key play sponsored by Kosare Children's Hospital, offering a variety of sports-related health information. Call 1-800-852-1770. Free throw good for Jeremiah Akers for his third point. 1:15 left to play in this third period. Ballard leads it 43-30. Second shot for Akers is well short. Rebound to Ballard. Parton gets the ball, comes out on the dribble. Double teamed in backcourt. Gets it across the line to Knight. Knight drives it into the circle, knocked away from behind, out of bounds, and it's Pikeville's ball. It went off Knight's foot. That was a good call.
Excellent call and excellent hustle on Pikeville. And again, you just can't, if the people that's not here witness this game can't believe the sheer determination they play with.
Gibson in front court, layup no good, gets his own rebound, lost it, picked out of there by Walls. Off to Branham, back to Gibson, lost it out of bounds. It'll go to Ballard. Gibson was down on the block, double teamed, and was in trouble anyway and lost it out of bounds. Here comes Bender back in the game, replacing Cedric Knight. 53 and a half seconds to play in the third quarter. Norton in the ballgame now for Ballard. He's the trigger man against man-to-man full court pressure. Comes into Childs. Childs double teamed. It's knocked away and out of bounds by Mims of Pikeville. Ballard will keep the basketball. 50 seconds to play in the quarter. (43-30). Ballard with the lead and the basketball. Here's Norton on the left wing. Lob for Nooner, left baseline. Pass was high, couldn't grab it. Bender picks it up finally in the lane, misses the short shot. It's still loose in the lane, and it rolls out of bounds. Touch last by Pikeville.
Mims was on the floor, couldn't get up in time, and it looked like it bounced off his foot.
Ball was like a greased pig. Comes in for Ballard. Childs looking, gets it out in the left corner to Norton, to Parton. Down on the block, left side, Bender. Back to Parton. 3 on the way. Yes! Rattled it in. 8 for Will Parton, all in this quarter. 16-point Ballard lead. And the Bruins starting to separate now from Pikeville. Anderson in front court. Now Mims on the left wing. Didn't want the long 3. Double teamed out near the timeline. Over to Anderson. 4 seconds to play in the quarter. In the corner to Akers. Around his man. Over Bender. Yes! Count the bucket at the buzzer for Jeremiah Akers. He has 5, and Ballard has a 14-point lead as we go to the fourth quarter. It's Ballard 46, Pikeville 32. We'll step away for these messages from KU and the Kentucky. Down in New Orleans, about 14 minutes to play in the game. Kentucky leads New Mexico State 49-43. Here it's Ballard 46, Pikeville 32 as we start the fourth quarter. And it's Gibson for Pikeville, driving down the right side. Gets it off to Anderson. Here comes a 3. It's good. First points of the game for Chad Anderson. Pikeville only 3 out of 14 now on 3s, but that cuts the Ballard lead to 11. In front court, in the lane, Childs hit it. About a 6-footer straight away. Adam Childs with 7. And whistle away from the ball. Don't know what that was about, but Pikeville's going to put it in play. Childs, Bender, Grader, Norton, and Wilkinson in the game for Ballard. Pikeville comes with Akers, Gibson, Anderson, Mims, and Walls.
And Walls and Bender were tangled up this last trip down court, and neither one of them had a look on their face like there was much love lost between them.
Gibson out of the corner, missed it. Rebound, Ballard. It's Childs. He'll come out on the dribble. Ahead to Grader in front court, down the left side. Bounces it to Bender in the lane. Jump hook, short. Rebound, Gibson. Well, Bender has struggled tonight. 3 out of 7 from the floor. Akers in front court with the basketball. Gives it over in the corner to Mims. Goes baseline. Now he reverses. He's in the corner and he needs help. Now a leaner from 15. It's no good. Rebound taken off by Gibson. Shot put up, no good. Ball's tapped out by Ballard, and it'll stay with Pikeville as Childs could not run down the ball that Norton tipped out. Knight back in for Ballard. Norton will come out. Walls is out, and Branham back in for Pikeville. A minute gone in the fourth quarter. Ballard's lead is 13, 48-35. Mims gets it in play to Branham out of the left corner for 3. No, it was short. It was Akers who took that shot for Pikeville. Ballard with the basketball in front court. Childs out between the circles. At the high post, Wilkinson. Left baseline, turnover. He was trying to hit Grader, cutting down the left baseline, and it went right through his hands and out of bounds. 48-35, Ballard. Pikeville's ball with 6:29 to play in the game.
And Pikeville's going to have to score, 2 or 3 times in these next few possessions, or it's just going to be too late, I think, Tom, for them to be able to come back. They've expended a lot of energy to stay in the game up to now.
Here's Mims, long range right side. Long 3 is blocked by Knight, taken down by Childs. Mims still on the deck. Knight running, lays it in off a pass from Bender, and Mims still face down on the floor. And he gets up limping badly. Hit the deck after that 3 attempt that was no good. Mims 0 for 4 from the floor as he takes a seat on the bench, and Lynch checks in. Mims scoreless tonight, and he's Pikeville's leading scorer at 16 points per game. The bucket for Knight gave him 14 to lead Ballard. Here's Pikeville in front court. Lynch double teamed. It's stolen by Child. Running the other way. Left-hand layup, good. 9 for Childs off the bench for Ballard. 52-35, Bruins' biggest lead. Left corner, Branham, 15-footer, short. Rebound cleared by Wilkinson. Wilkinson double teamed in backcourt, knocked away and stolen. Gibson, pump fake, put it up, missed it. Gets it back, knocked out of bounds. No, Gibson has it. Wilkinson knocked it away from him. Gibson, right baseline. 10-footer, No good. And Wilkinson clears the rebound. It's knocked away again. Branham stole it. Nice dish to Gibson. Over to Akers. Leaner. Good.
Got it.
Foul on Wilkinson.
And that series exemplified the true grit and effort that Pikeville has played with tonight.
You are exactly right. Down 17 against a heavily favored Louisville Ballard team, and Pikeville.
And look at
still
Chase
battling
there at half court, Tom. You can see they're spent, but they're not giving in. They're continuing to battle.
Timeout on the floor. 5:21 left. It's Ballard 52, Pikeville 37. We're back at Rupp Arena. Down in New Orleans, it's now 58-43 Kentucky with just under 12 minutes to play. Pikeville trails here by 15 with 5:21 left. Akers missed the free throw. Rebound off to Ballard's Bender, and the Bruins are running. Grader into front court. Down low, Knight has it. It's knocked out of bounds from behind by Pikeville. 5:13 left to play as Ballard prepares to put it in play beneath its own basket. Comes in the corner to Knight. Gives it out front to Grader. Pikeville's been in that 2-3 zone most of the night. High post, Childs. Turnaround free throw line jumper. No good. Tap by Knight. Good. 16 for Cedric Knight.
And this is the point in the game, Tom, that when everyone's tired, the 6'9" guys are still 6'9".
Yeah, they don't shrink much.
They didn't even look like the reason I said that, it didn't even look like he got off the floor for the tip, and he's still up above everybody.
Here's a shot missed by Pikeville. Rebound Ballard, then Pikeville steals it. Mims actually took that away while sitting on the floor. And now here's another steal by Childs. And then he can't catch up to it. Dives at the other end. Calls timeout as he sits on the end line. It'll go back over to Pikeville. Well, both teams really hustling.
Oh, they are. It's been a great effort, and it's been a fun game to watch. And very seldom would you say that when you look at the shooting percentages in this game that it was a fun game to watch. But just because of their effort, it's made it that way.
36 total turnovers, 20 for Ballard, 16 for Pikeville. But just great hustle. Here's Mims into front court. All the way to the bucket. Shot blocked by Bender, but a foul. Now Mims got into the lane against the 6'9" Bender, and he double clutched and was trying to shoot that thing somewhere down around his left calf and keep it away from Bender, and he reached over and fouled him.
And has a chance to get his first points of the evening.
Stay tuned at the end of the game for the Lexington Herald Leader Sports Report. We'll recap the game stats. The Lexington Herald Leader, where to go when you gotta know. Free throw good. John Mims' first point of the game. 4:22 is all that remains. Second shot, also good. And timeout, Pikeville, with 4:22 left to play. We'll take a break with Ballard leading Pikeville 54-39. This is the Kentucky Utilities Sweet 16 Radio Network. 4:22 left. Ballard with the ball and a 54-39 lead. Here's Bender in front court. Nice reverse layup, and it's good. 8 for Bender. One field goal in each quarter for the big sophomore from Ballard. It's 56-39. Kentucky leads New Mexico State now 63-43. Here's a run out after a steal. Parton drives and lays it in for Ballard. And the Bruins starting to open up now. They lead it by 19.
It's just a matter of the final margin.
Mims the other way, puts it up and in. That's 4 for Mims. 58-30. 3:49 to play. Grader in front court, drives the right side of the lane. Tonight, pump fake, drives in around his man, flips it up, no good. Gets it back, followed it in. 18 for Cedric Knight, making a bid to be our player of the game. And a turnover, Pikeville. They try to get it to Mims in the left corner. It was low and outside. 18 turnovers for Pikeville.
Would Parton have a good chance to be our guard of the game?
Very well could be. 10 points, 4 out of 9 shooting. Is that a nice night? Here's Knight over to Bender. Can't handle it. Parton digs it out. And off to Grader. Driving shot's no good. Bender controls. Can't get it up and in because he was fouled on the reach in. And this one will go against Chase Gibson of Pikeville. Pikeville has 2 senior guards in Mims and Anderson, but Gibson's a sophomore. Akers is a junior. Branham's a sophomore. They may not have to wait 25 years to make it back here.
They very well may not. Chase Gibson's an excellent player to build around. Already has a wealth of experience after starting as a freshman last year and then getting his state tournaments to experience this year. And the way that you can tell he loves to play, he's going to be not only a good player for him, he's going to be a sound leader.
Bender missed the first free throw, and wholesale substitutions now for Ballard. Coach Chris Renner. Into the ball game, Ace McGill and Richard Nooner and Andrew Norton and Antoine Sarton. I hate it when they get Sarton and Parton in the game together.
That makes it tough.
It does. Bender hits the free throw.
I tell you, Tom, I really
9
believe
points.
we're in for some nice semifinal action in the morning here, both games, the early game and then the second game.
And should be two fast-paced games, well-matched teams. It'll be Scott and Paducah Tillman at 10 Eastern time. Then the winner of this game, Ballard, most likely, barring a miracle, as they lead at 61-41. They'll take on Henderson County. And the lane shot put up no good. A collision and a blocking foul on Ballard. And it'll go against Nooner. And it will send Akers to the free throw line for Pikeville. Now, the first game, Curtis, really in the entire tournament where we've had a wide margin of victory. We've had some games where it's been double figures, but the game would be broken open late. Scott County beat Barron by 20 the first day, but that was still a 6-point game with 4 minutes to go. And this one, Pikeville hung tough for about 3 quarters, and then they just finally had little left to give on a night when they could not find a way to get it in the basket. Akers gets one of the free throws for his 8-point. Makes it 61-42. Bryant in front court for Ballard. Pikeville 31% shooting tonight, 15 of 48. Here's a turnover, and then it's taken back away by Ballard and then lost out of bounds. Touch last by Ballard.
I think it's even more amazing, too, that they continue with this effort, because you see so many teams, if they have a poor shooting night, they allow it to affect the whole game, especially on the defensive end. But it sure has not slowed Pikeville tonight.
That's a good point. Gibson, baseline left, almost threw it away. Mims chases it down in the right corner. 2.5 minutes to play. Mims out near the timeline, into the circle, pulls up, off to Gibson. He'll go baseline right, double team, flips it up from 6, in and out. Gibson gets it back, followed it up, no good. Rebound, Ballard. Nooner, off to Norton. Ahead to Bryant, into the lane. Leaner, no good. Rebound, Nooner, left-hand layup, good. Richard Nooner with his first 2. Comes into to Mims. Ballard still pressing. Mims drives it into front court. Right side of the lane. Collision, blocking foul on Ballard with 2:07 left. 63-42. Ballard in control. And Pikeville is going to take a timeout. 2:07 left. Ballard 63, Pikeville 42. A local timeout coming up on the Kentucky Utilities Sweet 16 Radio Network.
At the line, John Mims, shooting 2.
2:07 left. Ballard 63, Pikeville 42. John Mims shooting 2 at the line for Pikeville. Real nice season for the Panthers. 30 wins. And the official...
Someone threw, it looked like to me, a lighter on the floor.
Fans throwing of options
And,
from arena, especially to the floor surface,
the
is
official
strictly
spotted it.
prohibited.
Tossed it over under the press row table. Second shot. First shot, I should say, good for Mims. His 5th point, all coming in this quarter. Makes it a 20-point game, make it 19, and Mims hit them both. 6 for Mims, 63-44. Sarton gets it in to Norton, knocked away by Mims as they tried to get it to Nooner in front court. 2:04 left. Great first game tonight. It went to double overtime. Henderson County beating Muhlenberg North 73-71. Henderson back in the semifinals for the second time this decade. Shot no good in the lane by Ballard. Taken off by Pikeville, and Gibson's got it in backcourt. He'll work it up. 1:50 to play.
And, Tom, that was Henderson's 3rd overtime win in postseason play. They had 2 overtime wins in their first 2 games in the regional tournament.
Last year we had the comeback Cats. This year we have the comeback Colonels. They've been behind by double digits in both of their wins in this tournament. Ballard, after a turnover, running the other way. Norton out of the corner. Missed it too hard. Rebound taken off, and a walking call. A shot was put back up and in by Ron Ruther, but he walked. Lynch and Thompson check back in for Pikeville. And coming out will be John Mims, senior, playing his final game at Pikeville High School. Comes out to a nice round of applause. Adam Myers is in the ball game as well for Pikeville. So is Joey Stone and Nick King checking in. So Dave Thomas getting all of his starters out to a nice round of applause. Mims gets a big hug as he goes to the bench from Jason Anderson.
Well, Pikeville again tonight has exhibited all those things that you talk about in sports. Not give up, hang in there when things are not going well for you, and they've just again played with sheer determination.
Lynch hits in the lane. Nick Lynch with a nice game, 8 points, 63-46, just 1:08 left. Ballard in front court. Here's Ruther, 3 off the left side. He missed it, too hard. Rebound to Pikeville. Myers to Stone, ahead to Lynch, double fake, put it up, missed it. Rebound to Ballard. Sarton clears it to Ruther, knocked away out of bounds by Myers. It'll stay with Ballard. New players for the Bruins. Mike McDonald is in. Also Damian Phillips and Jared Caldo. And check that on Phillips. It's Drew Davis and not Phillips who's in the ball game for Ballard. 51 seconds to play.
And number 40 for Pikeville just entered the game too, Tom.
Isaac Ratliff. Always nice to get everybody's name in the Sweet 16. Some of these kids, maybe their only chance. To the baseline, shot put up, no good by Ballard. Was missed by Davis. Bruins get it back. McGill out of the corner. Barely drew iron. The ball's knocked out of bounds. Touched last by Ballard. 31 seconds left for Ballard to count down to a victory and a trip to the Sweet 16 semifinals as Jason Anderson checks into the ball game for Pikeville along with Philip Williamson. Williamson, a senior, getting a chance to play in the state tournament for the first time. Coming up tomorrow morning, Ballard will take on Henderson County. Ballard won it all in 1988. And that team was led by Allen Houston. And in 1977, team led by Jeff Lamp, Lee Raker, Jerry Eves. Pikeville with it out front. Myers off to Williamson. Missed it. It took a couple of trips around. Thought the senior was going to get one there. Ballard with the rebound. Williamson ties him up. And the possession arrow will go to Ballard with 12 seconds left to play. 63-46. It's 23-20. Ballard at halftime. They extended the lead to 14 after 3 quarters, and they're going to win it by at least 17. Here's McGill, free throw line, can't get his shot. Ball's loose on the floor, he goes after it, gets it back, and that's the ball game. Ballard's going to the Final Four. The Bruins defeat Pikeville by a score of 63-46.